Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Orchids webinar. We're excited to have you here join us today. Today, we'll be showing you how the web is your new 3D home and how your team can come together online in one place to work in 3D no matter their location. I am Monica. I am part of the Embodee team. And before we get started, I do want to take you over the platform that we have right in front of us. The big screen, you'll be seeing the demo, you'll be seeing our faces and the presentation. And then on the right side, we have three tabs, which has the chat, questions, and polls. On the chat, feel free to say hello, leave any comments that you want to leave, where you're listening from or joining us. For the questions tab, drop any questions there that you might have throughout the webinar, and we'll be getting those during our Q&A session towards the end. And then we have the polls tab, in which we'll be publishing some questions for you later on so you can participate. Like I said, feel free to leave any comments. We want you to be engaged and let us know what you're thinking about the Orchids platform. Also, before we jump into the actual demo, if you click on the bottom right icon, you'll go into full screen mode, and that will help you experience the platform to its best capacity possible. So now I'm going to hand you over to Yoram, our VP of Sales, and he'll introduce the team and the rest of the webinar. Thank you.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. We truly apologize for the late start due to, as you can imagine, this day and age, technical problems with virtual meetings. So web is your new home. That's the motto of today's meeting or today's webinar. First thing first, I'd like to introduce you to the team that will be working with me here today. And we're going to do a little bit of role playing. That's going to make it a lot more engaging for everyone to understand how you can work in new ways in the web using 3D. Myself, Yoram Berg, I'm VP of Sales for Embodee, and I will be playing the role of the sales manager at the fictitious vanilla brand that we put together for today's webinar. Ben Susinski, he's our VP of Product, and he will be playing the role of product manager for the same brand that we put together for today's meeting, Vanilla. And our very own Jake Gordon, product lead at Embodee, will be playing the role of the technical designer. We each work from different location, hence collaboration will be something we're going to put a lot of emphasis on. The role-playing that we're going to be doing today, and by the time I'm introducing you to the role-playing, Monica is going to push a survey or a poll right on the screen for you. We do very much appreciate if you can answer those questions for us so we can get some nice data to share with you throughout or maybe after the presentation. Creating a product, that's going to be the role that Ben Susinski is going to play for us as a product manager. We're going to set it up. We're going to create some variants. We're going to do that with the help of our technical designers. Do follow the nice avatars that we have there. They're going to be showing up throughout the webinar today. We're going to be prepping ourselves for a sales meeting that I have with you, my customers. So you're also going to be playing a role in this demo today, when I'm going to be sharing some public links with you, and then we're going to get to our Q&A session at the tail end of it. So for me, 3D has been a journey of over 18 years now. By the way, the same thing it has been for some of our team members. They've been long in this space. And I think that Orchids in many ways is the result of that experience, the outcome of our experience. Seeing things such as 3D is a nice goal to have. Everybody want to have a 3D goal. It's important to have a 3D goal, especially this day and age when we work remotely, dispersed teams, distributed teams rather, or whatnot. But there are also issues with 3D. How do you reach that final goal? So scalable way in preparing product variants was a challenge and still is. I've seen situations where, it takes very short period of time to stitch together a product, but then the variant creation can take hours, if not days, sometimes even more. And guess what the person is not doing during that time that they're doing all the variant creation? They're not stitching and draping another piece of garment or footwear or whatever the product may be. So productivity may be hurting as a consequence. Sharing and collaboration is somewhat of an issue, right? In and of itself, each and every one of the 3D providers have their own way of how they share and collaborate, but a joint marketplace where you can bring products together from all over is something that is desired and needed in order to allow a centralized location where all these items reside. For the most part, being as great as they are, 3D solutions are not web creation tools. Now, while we're not attempting to do the stitch and the drape, everything else can shift to the web, and that's what we're going to be showing you today in our demo. Skill set, licenses, mentoring, hand-holding, and everything that we can speak about is someone and sometimes translated into low utilization. That's an observation we've came to. And then a current processes is mainly a duplication, not an extension. What I mean by that is that if customer or maybe a supplier is using solution A, then I as a vendor or a buyer selected solution A as well, or the other way around. I'm as a buyer selected solution B, then my supply chain has to use solution B as well. Make little sense because we don't use the same computer, so we can get on this webinar today. But what if we could have a place where everything comes to life for us together, no matter what the source is? So the conclusion, as I said already, that every one of the 3D solutions is great, but do they really scale well? And this brings us into what we're trying to solve and the main deliveries of ORCIDS. ORCIDS is a new way in how you should think about your 3D. It extends the desktop license onto the web, and by doing so, we allow you to do your product development in the web. Scalability for variant creation is by far the biggest goal that we have here. Create colorways, material, prints, art placement, everything by any person, everywhere online. Collaboration among the users is definitely the area that we're supporting with this one. If we are already in the web, then collaboration is the synonymous word for that, let alone when we're going to be adding notifications, alerts, and things along those lines. And learning from all these years of experience, we are trying really with a very small number of hours to let you already be fully functional and working inside ORCIDS. So that ease of use is something that we're heavily focusing on. Bringing your assets into one place, whether you have PLM or do not have PLM. If you have PLM, we can get all your assets from PLM. And if not, then ORCIDS may very well be a wonderful place where all your assets exist, and then sharing them in so many new and creative ways, as we will show you some of them today, not all of them, but some creative ways that you will participate in this presentation. So if we look into the delivery of ORCIDS, we see that there are a bunch of role players on the left-hand side, ranging anywhere from customers to manufacturers, and up on top, the designers, but we also have the merchandisers, and we also have the e-com teams. So everyone can have or find a reason to use ORCIDS for their own needs. So ORCIDS serves as that one platform that serves many multiple endpoints, as you will see some of them today. So we want to bring everyone together into one place where they can easily collaborate, create all the variants, and work as a team, and consequently, of course, speed up the process development, the product development, helping you to be reducing your costs overall for deploying smart technologies, making the team happy, okay, making your business more agile, and then, of course, like I said before, allowing you to release things in many creative ways. What we're going to be doing today is this is the highlights of which, taking you left to right. We're going to be importing a product. Jake is going to play that role for us. We're going to manage it later on through libraries of materials and prints and colorways and whatnot. We're going to create variants, as you see here in stage number 3, that are comprised of prints and colors and whatnot, and then we're going to release it in many creative ways. And all of what we're going to be doing in here does not require any 3D knowledge or skill set to work with. So I wish us really a great journey in the fun that we're going to be having. We're going to start the role playing now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to let Ben take over and get the process started.
All right. Thanks, Yoram. Let me share my screen here as well. All right. There we go. So I'm Ben Szynski. Nice to meet you all. I'm a head of product here at Embodee. I'm very excited to be here. As Yoram mentioned, we have a different kind of webinar here for you today. So what we want to do is demonstrate how teams can work together using ORCIDs to communicate, develop, create variants, and use the platform to generate and present our creations all in beautiful 3D. So we'll be doing a little role playing today. So here's the scenario. My colleagues and I are working for a company that Yoram introduced called Vanilla, and we have an upcoming presentation with a customer of ours named Petals, hence the tie to the orchid's flower. We have vanilla, we have petals. Ha ha ha. To showcase our latest menswear design for the upcoming season. And we are under the gun to develop a new polo Petals Brands has been asking us for recently. So I'll be playing the role of a product manager. I'm hailing from Kansas City, Kansas, the Kansas side, I emphasize, here in the US, making sure that the customer's asks are being communicated properly with the rest of my team, and to ensure, the trains are on track and moving in the right direction. Jake, I'll be handing over next. He will be creating he's the technical designer. All right, so he's a pattern maker specializing in one of the most common 3D authoring tools, let's just say either a V-Stitcher, Clo, Optitex, among others. It doesn't matter, ORCIDs can accept models from any authoring platform. We love them all. And Yoram here, our sales manager. Oh, by the way, Jake is hailing from Portland, Oregon. And Yoram, our sales manager, is responsible for putting together the presentation at the end and leveraging our investment in 3D. He's from New Jersey. So we're all over the place here, working together. And then last but not least, as Yoram said, you guys will be playing a role here at the end as well. So let me get into the product. Get into ORCIDs here. So here I am. I hope everyone can see. So this is the login screen for ORCIDs. You can see here that I'm just simply in a browser. I'm logging in here. I'm in Chrome today, Firefox, Safari, it doesn't matter. We also don't have strict hardware requirements to see these models as well. So basically anyone from any computer with a browser from anywhere in the world can access these models and use them. So I'm gonna log in here as myself. And here we go. So here we are landing on what we call the grid. And if you look over here in the top left-hand corner, we have the Petals brands up here. This is a product line for Petals. And within that product line, and you can have as many product lines as you want in ORCIDs, within this product line, we have a list of products down below, simply just a grid of products that are in different stages of development. So some are still in the design phase, while others are, currently out there in the market. Behind each of these products is a 3D model developed in the 3D authoring tool of choice. Here we've just kind of labeled them of where these models actually came from. We have some models that came out of Clo 3D, Gerber, and AccuMark. Even if you want to V-Stitcher here, even if you want to do some photogrammetry, maybe you have some models that are in Maya that you'd like to associate here as well. You can do that all here in one location. Then behind each of these products is actually a 3D model. And by clicking on one, we'll take you to the product. And anyone with zero knowledge in 3D, even if they have zero knowledge in 3D, can use ORCIDs to create a multitude of different variants, including colorways, material, print, and graphic options. So let me take you to this product here. All right, and as you can see here, we have the 3D model. And anyone coming here has access to be able to rotate, see the model at any angle, zoom, pan, see the textures of the material or the fabrics, be able to select different print options, be able to colorize, create different colorways, and create a variant of this product, such as green, that can be accessed later by other members of my team. And what we're seeing is that this has a huge influence on reducing the bottlenecks that exist within the 3D asset generation pipeline for many companies. So we see over and over again where the authoring tool operator, in many cases, is not necessarily a designer himself, and is being asked over and over again to generate 2D assets needed for presentations and sales. So here, anyone can play the role in generating these assets and do things quickly. Do things like quickly render the turntable imagery simply by clicking on this icon down here, clicking on turntable, and downloading a zip file of the rotational imagery of this product that they can use for any purpose, sales, marketing, just sharing between other members, stakeholders that they need. And it allows that pattern maker, that 3D artist or specialist to focus on 3D and creating beautiful drapes and focusing on fashion. So this is, just highlights one of the main advantages of using ORCIDs and having it being web centric, from anywhere in the world, and from people with different various degrees of knowledge in 3D. So now you may be wondering, how can I get my models in here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go back to the grid. I'm going to put on my product manager cap, and I'm going to create a product shell. So in order to do this, I'm going to create the product here, and I'm going to type this polo that we're looking to create. So I'm just going to type in that. I'm going to do a little product code and polo for upcoming presentation, and I'm going to create the product. So what this does is it creates essentially a product shell. This product doesn't have any 3D data yet because we haven't created the model quite yet. So what I do is I can click on this product and take us back to the design tab that we were in previously, looking at that button-down shirt. But as you see, we have no 3D model. So I need to get my pattern maker, Jake, on it. It's quick. We got to do it fast. And I've been in communication with Petals, the brand, and we've been talking about this polo together. And maybe they've sent me a sketch, or maybe they've sent me some inspirational image, and maybe I've marked up a document with instructions for Jake that he can follow easily to be able to quickly manage and develop this product. So I'm going to leverage this area over here called product files. And this allows me, the product manager, or anyone coming in here, to actually drop files and share files easily with one another. So I'll just take these 4 files, I'll drop them in like this, and they're here, over here on the right. And now Jake has access to them. So now I can just write him a quick email, or text him or whatever. I copy this link, I send it to him, say, hey Jake, we are ready to go. Everything's in the product, just follow my instructions, and then let's begin. So I'm going to now hand over the controls to Jake, who's going to take on the process from here. Take it away, Jake.
Great, thanks, Ben. Hi there. My name is Jake Gordon. As Ben and Yorm said, I'm the lead production artist here at Embodee, and I'm located in the Portland, Oregon area. And today I'll be playing the role of the technical designer. So as the technical designer, my job will be to create a 3D model of the product based on these informational instructional files that were provided to me by my product manager. Then I'll show how easy it is to set up the product within ORCIDs with configurable color, material, graphic prints, and modular options, allowing a user of any background to quickly select from when designing variants. So using any of the 3D creation suites available to me, I can create my 3D product and export out the model and any of the texture assets for that model. I've already done this in advance for our polo shirt product, so I'm ready to bring this model into ORCIDs. So by selecting the Import 3D button, a window will appear that allows me to browse to the directory where I have my files saved. I can also easily just drag and drop those assets into this window. And then I'll just, I'll run the import as soon as those appear here. Run the import. Okay, and this import process, it only takes a few moments, and a variety of file types are supported by this importer, allowing users the ability to design products within any of the 3D creation tools and conveniently bring them together in one collaborative location. So now you can see the product appear here in the design tool. And upon import, we see that the design tab now contains this master variant. Also, we have this design options tab in the right side panel where we see various components that were brought in with this model. But first we need to set these components up with the correct configurable options. So what I'll do is I'll move over to my setup components tab here. And here we have a list of configurable components for this product. And a component is a configurable group of 3D panels. For example, this first front and back component contains the front panels and the back panels, as well as this fabric material that I've applied to these panels within my creation tool. So I'm happy with this fabric material that I've already have applied, but perhaps I'd like to visually see these panels with another fabric option. I can simply add a new material to this component by selecting this plus button. So this takes me to our material libraries. I see here first this product line materials. These are user-saved materials that can be saved and used across any of the products within this product line. We also have Swatchbook materials, which are downloadable materials if you have a Swatchbook account. And we also offer Orchids materials. And this is a library of over 70 sample materials that we've provided with Orchids that can be applied to a product. So I will go to my fabric materials, and I'm going to just apply this Cotton 1 material. Now, first thing we see is this weave looks much too large. So with this fabric selected, I can quickly come over here to the quick material settings, and I can scale this down to a real world scale. And that looks much better to me. I'm happy with that now. This fabric looks good to me, but I'd like to add some color options. So custom color sets can be easily added to our color library and applied to any product within this product line. This icon here on the left is our product, or is our, excuse me, our color library. But since I've already prepared this color set in advance, I'll just show how to utilize this color set within this polo shirt. So with this cotton fabric selected, I'll come over here to my my quick material settings, and I have this list of library colors, and it's currently on the default set of colors. So I can go to this drop down and come down, and I found my polo set color set, and I can select that, and now my library colors are populated with these selected colors that I've set up in my library. So now I can decide from these colors if I want on this front panel, this cotton, if I just want maybe just these two colors, I can just select a couple colors and add those. Or if I decide I want all the colors in that set, I can easily select these replace colors, and it replaces my whole list with my color set. So that looks good. I'm happy with this fabric. I'm happy with my color options, and I'd like to now copy this fabric to my sleeves and collar and pocket. So I can easily do that by selecting that fabric material, copying the material. I can add a blank material and paste. And I'll do the same thing for the pocket here. Great. And now this is looking pretty good, and I'm almost ready for approval from my product manager, but I see in the instructional files that the front panel and the back panel need to include a zigzag print. And as well, the pocket also needs to be a modular component that's optional, can turn on and off. So starting with the print, what I'll do is I'll come back up here to my front and back panel, and I'll just go ahead and paste this material again. So now I have one version of my fabric that just has colors applied, and this version, I'm going to apply my zigzag print. So I'm just gonna rename this one zigzag print. Okay, great. Next, I will come to the advanced material settings tab. And this is a panel of all the texture assets that are used to create the look of this cotton fabric material. And the first option, or the first plugin here, is the color texture. So this is the one that I want to replace my zigzag print. And I can easily select that from my device or from a saved library, which I've already saved this print, my library textures. There it is, my zigzag print. And there we go. So I could now continue creating as many print options as I'd like, just in the same manner, but I'll go ahead and move on to my pocket. So selecting the pocket component, I can see there's an optional toggle switch over here in the component details panel. When I select this on, you notice that this green circle appears alongside the pocket component. And if you hover over it, it says toggle optional components. If I click this on and off, that turns that pocket on and off. So now this polo shirt is good. I'm happy with it, and it's ready to test in the design tool. So I'll save all my setup and return back here to the design tool. Okay, now this, I'm sorry. Okay, now this design tool is now the area where users of all types of backgrounds, including users with little to no 3D background, can easily create and share amazing looking variants of the product, including material and print options, color options, and modular options like this pocket here. So I'm happy with this blue color, and I'm going to go ahead and save this as my master variant. This master variant is the variant that you will see in your product grid wall. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this as this blue style that I like. And now this product is ready for collaborative discussion, approval, and sales. So now I'm going to go ahead and ping my salesperson, Yoram, and let him know that this product is ready for variant creation, and I'll go ahead and hand this polo shirt on over to him.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jake, for putting this great work together. I'm going to take over the screen right now, and I'm going to be coming right into Orchids, and I currently preparing for a sales presentation that I have coming up tomorrow, and for which I needed my product manager from Kansas City, my technical designer from Portland, Oregon, and myself from the northern tip of New Jersey to get everything in place in less than, like 40 minutes or so. So first thing first, I see that the polo shirt is here. I'm going to refresh my screen, so hopefully it'll catch the blue color, and it did. That's all I had to do. And I'm going to click on the shirt. But before I'm doing that, I think I need to go back into a process that I already started to create, and that is my assortments. So we've created some collaborative canvases or assortments or boards, if you will. So for this particular line that I'm working in my vanilla brand, I have already curated some products into beautiful assortments, such as my city collection, which is more for the younger guys, something for the fall, winter, and whatnot. But this is the one on the left, the Vanilla Spring. That's the one I'm working on for tomorrow. And I'm going to click on the board. The first thing that I see is that I have my products over here on the right-hand side for my long sleeve polo options. I don't have my short sleeve polo options because those are the ones I was waiting for Jake to prepare for me, so I can go ahead and be ready for my meeting tomorrow. This canvas is a pretty cool one, or because first thing first, I can grab this little hand, move it over here, and within the same collaborative board, I can create options. So I can have option 1, and on the right-hand side, option 2 and 3 and 4. I don't necessarily need to open up a whole new board. The second thing that I can do is I can see everything in full screen. So imagine one day we're going to be going back to the offices. Some of you may very well be already there, and you'll be working on this beautiful LED screen to present that into designers or merchandiser and whatnot. So we're going to be doing some work in here in just a little bit. So coming back to my board, I am able to see that I'm missing my shirts. So I'm going to go back very quickly into my polo. I'm going to click on the polo, and I don't know much about 3D, but all I see is the options that Jake had prepared for me. If I'm going to zoom in, I'll be able to see that I have some good texture reading for my files, and I'm going to be starting to prepare some options, some variants for me. The first thing first, I'm going to call this one customer, because this is part of what I want to be presenting to my customers. So tags is something that I can very easily work with. I'm looking at my polo shirt here. I need a couple of more variants for that meeting. I'm currently at the print, zigzag print. I'm going to go very quickly back to my polo. I'm going to brighten up a little bit so you'll be able to see it as well. So I've created some maybe more of a beige color, or maybe I'll go a little more with the actual beige, actually, not the teal one that I had over, the tan one, sorry, that I had over here. I'm also going to go into my colors and my sleeves, and I'm going to change it kind of to the same color. And I'm going to go to my pocket, just like I had before, and I'm going to remove the pocket, because with this variant that I'm about to save right now, this is my beige color, and I can also say, for example, no pocket. So I'll know that this is option 1. You know, it doesn't like the parentheses, so I'll just leave the parentheses out of the way, and I'm going to click on save. And on the left-hand side in the variant section, you see that I already got a new variant in place. Now I'm going to go into the other area, another variant I'm going to be creating. So I'll start it off from the same point where I started this one. So I'm going to go back to my zigzag print, if you will, and I'm going to make this one a little different. So in this particular case, I'm going to change my base again to a lighter color. Okay, so here's my base. I'm going to change it to maybe this color with the print. I'm going to change the other colors as well and create a different appearance to my sides. Now it does have a print. And I'm going to add the pocket again, but I'm going to give it a little bit more of a grayish, or more maybe, I'm going to go with this one, so it'll be more consistent. So now I have my 10 color, okay? I'm having this one as an option, and I'm going to save this one as my 10 zigzag. That's going to be my 10 zigzag. And maybe I want to create a little more of inspirational one, so I'm going to go back into my my original design. I'm going to give more of a base one, and I'm going to give my sleeves and my sides and my color a little more of a complex, a little more fun way to work with. So I'm going to call this print sides. Now I have 4 of these options, and I'll decide which one of them I'll use in my collaborative board. And again, down over here, I'm having the ability to take some 1K images, prints, 2K images in quality, or 4K on a single frame or a turntable. So I can use it maybe outside even the ORCID's platform. Saving what I've done, I'm going quickly into my assortment board one more time, and I'm going to go into the vanilla spring that I was in. In here, I'm going to be able now to click the edit button, and I'm going to be able to bring additional images if so I want, add additional text. You see here we have the short sleeve and whatnot, but I'm deciding that I'm good with that, and I just want to bring the variant in here. And since I have access to all my line, then pretty much what I need to do is just type the vanilla that I'm looking for, or the one, there it is, polo, that I was looking for. And I can find the shirt that I'm on. I know which colors I have, and I'm deciding that I'm not going to bring the multicolor one, but I'm going to bring these 3 ones. into the mix. I'm going to first reduce the size of which, so it'll match pretty much the assortment that I'm working on. Maybe I'll choose this one over here, and maybe I'll do the same thing for the second one. Okay, that'll be my second shirt, and this is going to be my third one. Okay, so I now can arrange them nicely between the various products, get the right size for each, and there are my products ready. Now, let's say that you know what, as a last minute change, I'm not so sure that this bright shirt kind of fits the dark pants. So I may very well decide that either me or my customer, the one I will be inviting tomorrow, will have the options to play with the color of this variant. So no issues there. We have this beautiful menu over here that I can bring products to the front. I can remove them all together, choose maybe a different angle in how I want the product to be positioned in here. But I'm going to quickly go back to my product, and I'll say, you know what, I need some darker colors in here. The software takes me straight back into the variant that I was working on. I have dark pants that I may very well choose some dark colors over here. I want to make this polo shirt look a little more like that. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to save this now as the new color. And after that, I'm going to change this one to be my, I'm just loosely going to call it green, okay? That may very well be the name that I have for that. And now I'm going to go straight back into my board. And I have a problem because my shirt did not load in here. So I'm just going to click on Edit, and I'm going to go back to this product. I'm going to go back to the product itself. That's the little glitch I was hoping I'm not going to have, but maybe I'll try it one more time. And I'm going to just need to paint it with the zigzag. And save this one as my option. You see me just not needing to know any 3D in that sense. And then go back to the product. And hopefully that shirt has changed in character. And it didn't, so that's fine. You know, maybe there is a problem right now with my server syncing, but I'm going to get over that. So I made a very quick change. And basically what should have happened for me is that any place on the board here where that variant existed, whether this one, or that one, so it can be shared all across, any place it existed, I could have seen now that it has changed to something new. And now I need to prep my meeting to my customer, and in that case, my customer is you. So the audience that we have here, I'm also going to go in here into my polo shirt, and I'm going to flip this switch and turn it from being a private product to a public product. And public product is great because it allows me to do several things with it. Number one is that I can decide that I want to share this shirt with you, just this shirt, for 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days, or whatnot. Here we have 2 weeks, 1 month, or whatnot. And I can do more with that, but I'm not going to share it with you just yet. The first thing is what I did was to just share it as a public product. And I want to curate additional products for you, my customer, that I'll be sharing with you in our presentation that we're having. I'm going to then go back to my grid, and I'm going to check a few products that I'd like to share with you. Maybe this 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'll go for the leggings as well. Anything that's public and that I can switch it, I can now assign a tag which is called my customer. Okay, sorry, I needed to do it in one word. That's my bad. My customer. There it is. And now we have a tag for that. I'm going to click save, and I'm going to flip this switch for all my product to be public. And what it shows me right now is that any place where I had a tag, such as shirts, dress, legging, customer, I can activate them all. I'm going to turn the other one off, and it'll leave me with the 5 products that I'm about to share with you. I'm going to go into this link. I'm going to say, hello, customer. This is the name of my presentation. I'm going to share it maybe for 1 day with you. I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to go into the chat window. So now, guys, if you haven't made a good use of the chat window or the questions tab, you're now able to go there. Apologize for you seeing it the way you're seeing it. And I'm going to drop this link so you can receive it and work with it the way I'm about to do on my screen. So if I'm going to click the test link, it's going to take me straight into the Hello Customer board. This is that secured 1-day link that I'm sharing with you. Here is my polo shirt, the one I'll be working with. Here are additional products. brought in from other 3D solutions. And pretty much any one of these I can click on, and it'll show me exactly what I prepared for you offline, including the green variant that I worked on before. But let's say now that I'm working with you and we're from opposite sides, you may very well be across the room, across the building, across the world. And I see that I only have several colors on my zigzag prints. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 colors. But you asking me during that session, hey, Yoram, can I have more colors? Then go back to my screen and see what I'm doing right there. All I got to do is click on this product, and I'm telling you, hold on for me for a second. I'm going to go back to the place where the components existed. I'm going to click on that zigzag print that Jay created for me, and I'm going to go to the right-hand side and drop all the colors in the world. Clicking Save, going back to my public view, clicking Update. And if you guys are going to do just like I'm doing right now on your screen, hit the refresh button on your browser, then coming back to the zigzag option, I could have added additional colors for you, which I did, but I could have added additional materials and prints and options and turning on the pocket off or whatnot. So I can fully control my session while I'm having it. And the final thing that I want to do here before I'm wrapping up my session and prepping with my customers, I decided to be a little nicer guy, I'm calling it. And I've decided to give my customer additional options. So I'm going to click on sharing these variants. And I'm going to add these variants into this view. I can decide how big this window that I'm about to show you is going to be. And I can copy this code line and embed it into a mock page that I've created for the customer. So coming back in here, I have my original design in 3D, ready to be zoomed on my mock-up page for the vanilla brand, including those other variants that I've already prepared a little bit ahead of time. So not only that I have 3D that I used internally, not only that I had 3D I used to share it with my customer in a private session, but I'm also able to automatically publish it into a proposed website, and from there add it to the cart and purchase. And with that, I want to say that I'm done. I'm ready. I present it to my customer. I'm ready to go. And I want to say thank you to my team that helped me get my presentation in a great way. I want to open up the stage for all of you to ask some questions through the chat window, through the questions tab. And also, we're going to be pushing for you right now a Why Orchids document, a single page that talks about the benefits of working with orchids. And we do very much welcome you to reach back to us with questions. If you'd like to join our early access beta group, which is available right now, this is the link on the screen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to my team, and we're ready for your questions. Monica, take it away.
Hey, Yor, I'm sorry to interrupt. Hey, one more thing before you go and you're still sharing your screen is I do want to highlight this variant change that you did in the assortments. Can you go back to your assortment? I know why this little problem happened.
Here I am.
Yep, just go back to it. Simply, it's only because you simply changed the name of the variant. We need to fix that on our side. So just go back into this other variant. No, don't click that variant. Just click the other blue one on the right. Go into there and change it again. Just don't change the name this time.
Got it. Okay, so that was a change name. Perfect. Then I'll just save this one, and I'm going to save it. And let's see what we're getting there. And
we think
let's go back to my board.
Really powerful feature.
Yep. Thank you very much, Ben, for that.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. Questions, if you have any.
Yes. Thank you to all of our team for this awesome webinar. If you have any questions, I repeat, drop them on the questions tab, which is on the right side, the second tab. You can click on that. And let us know if you want any of your questions answered, and our team will be doing so. In the meantime, while we get some questions, if you want to learn more about the Orchids platform, feel free to reach out to our emails, through our website. If you want to request early access and everything, or even demos, we're more than happy to provide more detailed and more in-depth demos for you. So we have a question here. It says, if brands do not have 3D tool, how can brands get started with physical products?
Ben, do you want to take it?
Well, actually, we Embodee itself. We have our own service that will actually help you generate 3D models from physical product. So we have a service ourselves that will actually scan physical product for you and create 3D models. There's also other freelancers out there that can help that process along to get you the 3D model out there and into the platform.
Thank you, Ben. Yes, he asked if brands can send physical products to us, the company.
Yep, that's correct.
Let's see, we have another
Ben,
comment and questions.
You want to mention the Need 3D Models button?
Yeah, we have well, I'm not sharing my screen right now.
Yeah, I'm still going to stop sharing mine, so I apologize for that.
Okay, yeah, so there is a way that you can request 3D models once you sign up for ORCIDS. Good point, Jake. Thank you. Let me just share my screen. And here in the platform, we have a button down here that just simply need 3D models. So once you have access to ORCIDS, you can come here and you can click the Tell Me More button. That'll set the process up and sent to the right people here in the Embodee side to get the process started for communicating with you and getting the physical samples sent our way.
Perfect. We have another question. It says, first of all, thank you. This is very cool. And then it says, if a customer configures, say, the Polo, how do they save it and communicate back to you?
Nope, sorry, I didn't quite catch that question. Can you say?
Yeah, so I'll take that question. I think if we have a comment coming in from a customer and they have made some comment request or whatnot, there are a couple of ways to do it. Number one is if you enter the ORCIDS platform and invited as a guest, okay? And the guest access is just accessible to anyone. You're going to be able to add your comments once we introduce, as I mentioned before, notifications and alerts into the specific area within the product. At the moment, what we offer is the ability to do it through the assortments. You can just go into the assortments and launch a text box as just the way it is being describing the product. That's also the same way that you can add your comment and say, I'd like to change A versus B versus C. But definitely notifications and alerts, making comments and relay them back to us, to the originator of the content, is a feature that is currently being developed. What you've seen here today is the current stage of the development of ORCIDS.
Perfect. We also have another question. Can you also generate the 3D models from DXF pattern files?
I'm gonna let Jake answer that.
Yeah, I mean, as opposed to sending us a physical product, if they were to send us a pattern file, yes, we could use the pattern file as well to create a drape within one of the 3D creation tools. And
I'll want to chime in on that a little bit. That's a service that we provide, but from the second thing that we try to promote in here is to the question that came up before, is if you don't have 3D models, what if you don't have those 3D models? Well, there's a bunch of freelancers out there, and a good number of them that have made an investment into 3D, and they can be the one building the models for the customer, you. And if then they can upload those models back into ORCIDS, then you can take it from there and do all the variant creation, everything you've seen us doing here today on your own, and you have just imported the model, or we were uploaded with a model into ORCIDS. So this is really a great way for people who are not investing in 3D to start using 3D.
Great. And then with that, we'll be wrapping up. Once again, we want to say thank you to all of you for joining us today and getting to know more about the Orchids web platform. I repeat, if you have any other questions and want to learn more, reach out, go to our website, embodee.com. Follow us on social media so you stay up to date. And we're happy to have you and see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Right. Thanks.
Bye.